and deported. That's how broken our system is. That those that are on the front line defending us in the war against terrorism and in Iraq are having their wives deported from the United States of America. Look, it's a broken system. But I think what we say is, what are you going to do with the 12 million people? If you listen to Pat this morning, we have had the most aggressive enforcement in the last 30 years in our interior enforcement. 160,000 people deported this past year. At that rate, it would take us 65 years to rid this nation of all the undocumented workers. It's not realistic. It's not humane. It isn't practical to our national security, nor does it secure our economy. The fact is, we create in the United States this vibrant economy, 400,000 low-skilled jobs a year, but there are only 5,000 visas. We need new workers to keep our economy vibrant and strong. The fact of the matter remains is that our economy would almost come to a standstill if not for the work of the millions of undocumented workers that are here. I say let's have a humane, a compassionate road. Many of the arguments that Pat has made here this morning were made in the 1850s against the Irish, in 1910 against Italians. As a matter of fact, we passed the Chinese Exclusion Act in the 1880s, and 10 years later, we had unprecedented immigration to this country when we opened up Ellis Island. Immigrants have contributed immensely to the fabric and the structure of our great American society, and they continue to do so today. The same arguments that Pat makes today are the arguments that have made in the past. They were wrong then, they're wrong today.
Let me tell you the differences here. We've got 12 million is the low number of illegal aliens in the United States. Tim, that is a figure equal to all the Irish, all the English, and all the Jewish folks who ever came to the United States from Jamestown to JFK. We stop each month 150,000 people on the border. That is an equivalent of all the troops we've got in Iraq. The point of this is the thing is an invasion, it is illegal, it is huge. Now the congressman makes a good point. You can't deport 12 million people. We don't want to set up a Gestapo and try to do that. Where do you begin? You begin by enforcing the border, prosecuting businesses hiring illegals, and you go after in deportation the 600,000 who've been ordered deported, who are now criminal felons who have stayed in this country. Many of them are child molesters, they're drunk drivers, they're rapists, they're robbers. They've got a variety of crimes, but they commit a felony by being here. Start with them, go after the gang members who don't belong in the country, continue with them, go after the folks who are getting out of prison. These are the ones Chertoff should be after. Meanwhile, you get rid of the magnets that draw them here. There are two main magnets. One is corporations that are corrupt and hire illegal aliens and don't hire American workers. And the second is social welfare benefits, which are very generous in this country, and people come for them. Get rid of the magnets, secure the border, enforce the law. You don't need this bill.
A woman comes from Mexico, marries an American man, has a baby. Do you send her home?
No, of course not. If she's here, I mean, if she's the wife of an American citizen, the baby's a citizen, the American's a citizen, and his wife can stay, of course not. But if she walks across the border, as many of them do, I think something like 2/3 of the babies in Los Angeles born, women coming into the country, cross the border, they have a baby, the baby's an anchor baby, entitled to a lifetime of social welfare benefits and citizenship. That's not what citizenship should mean in our country.
Let me just try to respond very, very quickly. You know, the tone and the texture of the debate that Pat has brought here to meet the press is really what is wrong with this debate. We need to have a debate that doesn't chastise people, that doesn't criminalize people, that doesn't cast a shadow over everyone. The fact is the vast majority, the overwhelming majority of immigrants that come here to this country come here to work hard, sweat, toil, and make our country a better place. And to cast aspersions on them and to generalize them all. If I could just finish, Pat, if I could just finish. And to cast aspersions on them as though they were all, is what is wrong with the texture and the tone of this debate. Okay. And let me just, let me try to respond to issues that you have raised. The fact is that our economy is strong and vibrant. Pat, 60% of our workforce is part of the baby boomer generation. In 20 years, 79 million Americans, the youngest of those 79 million Americans, 60%, will be 63 years of age. they will need to be replaced in our workforce if we're to keep our workforce vibrant and strong. I just want to finish on the second issue that you brought up.
All right.
Let me just stay on the employment issue.
Okay, let's do the employment issue.
Let me frame it with a Wall Street Journal editorial and offer this. And this is the Pew Hispanic Center did this research and provided these numbers. According to the Pew Hispanic Center, illegal immigrants represents less than 5% of the U.S. workforce, yet they make up 24% of those working in farming occupations, 17% in cleaning services, 14% of construction laborers, and 12% of those in food preparation industries. Many of these occupations are among those expected to grow the fastest in coming decades. If those numbers are accurate, and no one challenges them,
right, they are accurate.
If you take those workers and ship them back to their native countries, what happens to our economy?
First, I don't think you'd have to ship all the workers back. But secondly, look, Tim, let's take one of those figures. Was construction 14%?
Yes.
Okay, that means 86% of construction workers are American citizens or people here legally whom the illegal aliens are competing with. And they say the Americans won't do their jobs. That's nonsense. Secondly, the congressman talks about working folks. In the non-managerial, 80% of American workers, it's something like 93 million, their wages in the Bush boom, so-called, have been arrested. They are not going up. Productivity goes up, but wages aren't going up. It defies common sense to say you can bring in 36 to 40 million legal immigrants and 12 to 20 million illegal and not have those huge number of uneducated, unschooled folks, who many of whom don't speak the language, not drive down the wages of working Americans. That is